Welcome, folks. How you guys feeling this afternoon?
Tired.
Guys have a good lunch? Oops, 1 second here. I've just learned how to switch my recording from Zoom to YouTube. So you're going to get different kinds of links now, although slightly easier ones to use, I'm guessing. Well, we got 13 of you guys so far. I'm going to wait another minute for some of your classmates to come in. Jose, those aren't your pet rats, are they? You wish. You could do some fun illusions with your rats. Mm-hmm. Really? What happened, June? Your science class? Somebody jumped in? No problem, Nikki. Yeah, it was really bad. So what did the person do? Oh, that's gross. Huh. That's really gross. Well, yikes. Okay, that's really gross. Not cool at all. So curiously enough, I don't know if they figured out a hack in, but supposedly everybody who logs into a class has to have a BSD account. And after the class, you can go into Zoom and see exactly who's visited. There's the BSD account, there's the name. So if somebody hacked in, actually that happened briefly to another class of mine, but I found out at the end of the class, I found out who it was. So at least the one example that I had, yes, I could do that. So yeah, so I'm sorry about that, June. That's really gross. And whoever did it, who knows what their motivation was, except to cause mayhem. Some people like to cause mayhem. Well, we've got 18 of you guys, and it's 4 minutes after class has started, so I'm going to get rolling here. I know you guys all have your different degrees on projects you're working on, but I also know that some of you, not a small number. No, that's interesting. Single sign on. Yeah, that's interesting. So anyway, some of you have already done the black and white versus color assignment, and you're waiting for a new assignment. So even though the black and white and color isn't due till the end of this week, I'm going to give you a new assignment today, and I'm going to show you a little bit about how to do it. And this is where digital photography separates itself somewhat from analog photography or straight photography. And straight photography is what we've been doing up till now. So I'm going to show you how to do some of this stuff. First of all, let me make sure that I've got it set so you can see what the assignment is. Okay. Okay. So down here, assignment number 5, which has to do with compositing images. And I say to do it, try doing it 3 times with 2 or more photographs, but I will put a caveat in there, which is to say, if you're compositing and you're using, say, 5 or 6 images in the composite, you don't have to do it 3 times. You're going to have enough fun just trying to get 5 images to cooperate. The learning curve would be pretty steep, so I would accept that. So combine 2 or more photographs into a single impossible, but because it's a photograph, it looks possible image. You might want to use an erase tool. I'm going to show you how to use a layer mask. Actually, it's called something different in Photopea. It's called a vector mask, but it's the same, works the same way. So I'm going to show you how to use that. I'm going to show you how to use the edit transform, which you can do all kinds of fun things with that. And then also how to adjust the opacity and the transparency of the layers. So all of these things will be important for you to use. So I'm going to show you how to do that. But first I have to stop sharing and reshare. So here's Photopea. And I've got 4 different photographs up here. This is going to be my background photograph that I'm going to pop into people. And I've got a couple profiles and I've also got a window. Okay, so heads up, pay attention. And also this video that, well, this class session, which is being recorded right now, will also be a good resource for you to use in terms of how did he do that again? So I'm actually going to, in the assignment, I'm highlighting this date's videos as good instruction videos to do this assignment. So, I'm going to start with this. And I do want to keep track of your chat in case there's a question. Yeah, okay. So focus on this for a second. I understand the class Zoom bomb is nasty, but focus on this so you don't miss the stuff. So I'm going to go back to the beginning. You'll see that I've got 3 layers here. Watch what happens when I turn all the layers on. This is, of course, what I've already done. So there's a waterfall, that same waterfall that you saw right here. That's the same one. So, and then I'm going to turn this layer on and boom, suddenly the waterfall is like the most killer haircut on earth, right? Do a dye job like that, right? So I'm going to show you how I did that. So first of all, I'm going to go back right to the open. So I used on this a magic wand, which is this thing right here. So these are different selection tools. And magic wand is one that picks all the pixels. Wherever you click it, it's the one that picks all the pixels that are very similar to it. And before I did it, I put in here, so I selected the wand. These are the controls of it. So I feathered the selection already at 10 pixels. This is not a very high resolution image. So 10 pixels matters in this image. 10 pixels in a high res image would be nothing. But this is a fairly low res image. So 10 pixels does qualify as feathering. Okay. And then what I did, I'm going to turn this background layer off so you can see. And then I cleared it. All I have to do is hit delete. Boop. And yes, hello. Reselect. And there you go. So now you can see, all I had to do was hit delete and make the background disappear so you can see how it's taken that away. Okay, so I've got this guy with no head, right there, or space through his head. So then I'm going to go to the waterfall image, and I'm going to select all on this. And you could just simply do it that way. Okay, so that's Command A. And then I'm going to copy it. And then I'm going to go back to this image. Okay, now remember, I've got 2 layers here. And I'm going to paste on top of this. I'm just going to paste, which is Command V here. And there's the waterfall. And whoa, it's way so tiny. That's not going to work yet. So pay attention here, because this is important. Edit, transform. And then look what you can do with it. I can rotate it. I can flip it horizontally or vertically. I can warp it, perspective, distort, rotate. I need to change the scale. So this is going to give me some grab corners. Right there they are. And I'm going to stretch this, make it more bigger. Okay. And that's pretty good, actually. So now I'm going to hit return. So I have transformed it. And now I'm going to hit the move tool right up here. This is the move tool, because I need to place this properly. Okay, so that's pretty good. Now it's in front of the guy. That's not going to help. But watch this. The background layer always stays background, but I duplicated the background layer simply by dragging this down to what looks like a piece of folded paper right down here. And see, there's another background copy. So these layers, any of these layers, you can move them around. You can change the order of the stack. So I'm going to take this layer and I'm going to put it underneath this one. And you can see that heavy black line that shifted. And voila, there it is. And since this layer is still the one that's active, and I'm still on the move tool, I can, as soon as it decides to cooperate, I can shift this around. I can even scale it up more. I can even go back to edit, scale, and actually, because it looks like I do need to do that. And I'm going to make this top layer invisible for just a second. And I'm going to go back, edit, transform, scale. It needs to be a little bit larger. There we go. Hit return. And now I'm going to turn this back on, and there we go. So the guy's got some kind of waterfall haircut. He never has to worry about drying his hair again. I did basically the same thing with this. You know, this is easy. When I hit the magic wand tool with this, it's selected. I will show you actually what it's selected. Okay, I'm going to make all these layers. So that's what it's selected. You know, that was, and I'd had the 10 pixel feathering. And then I just put the waterfall behind it, and boom, there you go. So the guy is very fluid. How are you feeling today? I'm feeling very fluid. Okay. And another variation of that is, here's a photograph, a plain photograph of a window. I did the same thing. I created another layer, background copy, and I just simply, I used a different selection tool. I used this one instead. I used the polygon lasso tool because that one goes, you can see in the graphic, this one is really good for straight lines. And all I simply did was went from the corners of the windows. I didn't try to get fancy because, yes, I know there's lots of panes, and I could, if I were really doing this in a way that I was very serious about, I would have done each one of these windows separately and had them become invisible. But I did it all together. And then I took the same waterfall window picture and just dropped it in. And so you can put anything underneath or on top of anything and create a transparency. Okay, so there's another thing that I'm going to show you in just a second. In fact, on this, I'm going to duplicate the background layer again, and I'm going to put it on top of this. So, and wake it up. So I know the waterfall is underneath there. Okay, so I'm going to show you another way that you can reveal what's underneath this, but in a way that you have a lot of control, because, and it's probably more, actually, it's probably more better that I do it on this one. It's the better situation to show you. So background, copy to. So I'm going to put this on top of here. And now, of course, the waterfall is invisible. Okay, so pay attention. This little deal right here, these symbols down here will affect the layers. Whatever layer you've got active, they will affect it. This thing right here, I'm waiting for the little label to pop up. It says add raster mask. So I'm going to click it. And yes, there it is. Okay, so there's the mask. And that little chain link right there says these two are linked. You can actually unlink that, but keep it linked. And now this is active. If I go here, this is active and the mask isn't working. But right now we're working on a mask. So pretend that there's a mask over this, and that mask is going to affect the image as if it's really, really affecting the image, except it's not. It's an illusion that it's affecting the image, but all the stuff is still there. And I just completely confused you. So let me show you what I mean. Okay, when you're on the mask, when the mask is active, you need to have these two. These are the background and foreground color. And you can, of course, you can change these colors, but I need them to be their original black and white. Okay, white means reveal, black means hide. And what does that mean? I'll show you right now. Go to the brush or the pencil. It doesn't matter which. They both work just as well with each other. Okay, so the brush tool is what I'm picking. Okay, and black is on top. Black is hide. And you can see my cursor right here. And when I click on it, what's happening is it looks like I'm erasing this layer. In fact, I'm going to make this this cursor bigger so I can go faster. You guys know the bracket keys on your keyboard? Not the parentheses, but the bracket keys. They're just to the right of the letter P. If you hit the left bracket, it makes your cursor smaller. If you hit the right bracket, it makes your cursor bigger. That's a keyboard shortcut that really comes in handy. Okay. And right now the flow is on 100, or the opacity is at 100%. That can be toggled down, but let me show you what it does. It makes it look like you're erasing all of this. You are not. You're just making it transparent. Okay, so I could change the brush here. I could so now the hardness is really hard, so I can change the hardness to soft, and now you can see it has a much different kind of effect. You don't get that hard edge to it. So I'm making this waterfall appear, but let's say I slip. And I went too far, and I just made all of this disappear. I'm going to erase that for a second. So what can I do to bring things back? Well, just change the order of the colors here. Black is hide, white is reveal. So now when I go back here, I'm bringing back the layer that looked like I was erasing it. You didn't. You were just hiding it. You were making it transparent. Now you're making it opaque again. So if you make a mistake, it's not a problem. You just go back and re-reveal. Actually, that's pretty cool right there. So you can toggle this back and forth, and this gives you this sort of organic quality to draw in here, and gives you a lot more kind of control about how you want to hide and reveal something. So you can do it by selecting and deleting. or you can do it this way. I use this tool a lot, actually, and that's pretty sweet, right? So all the history is right here, but the things that I want you to remember out of this specifically is the edit, transform, and what the vector mask right here, what you can do with the vector mask. Okay, and I said, so right now the mask is active. If I click on this, the mask is no longer active. And now the pen tool or the brush tool is just a pen tool or a brush tool. It won't do a hide or reveal. You have to do that on the mask. Okay, you can use masks on any layers, and you can reorder these layers. And you can also, this is also worth knowing, if you're trying to worry about how something is placed and you can't quite tell if it's exactly in the right place, click on the active layer or the layer that's on top maybe that you want to be able to see through, and just dial its opacity down. And you can see that I'm making this layer transparent. Okay, so in fact, I'm going to get rid of that as well. So there's the waterfall. There's this. So if you need to move something, now I can see what it is, where it is that I'm moving it relative to, and I can scooch this thing around, and maybe I like that even better. I don't know. Let's see. Kind of do. And I can also toggle this back up to 100%. So does that make sense to you guys? Does that make sense? Okay, so that's your next assignment, and it's not due till on the other side of winter break. Actually, halfway through the remainder period of time. Today's class, you have, including today's class, you have 4 classes before winter break. You have the Friday, and you got Tuesday, and you got Friday again. And then when we get back from winter break, you have 4 weeks of school left. 4 weeks. So that's 2 classes, 4, 6, 8. So you've got 8 classes on the far side. No, June, this is due after winter break. I wouldn't do that to you. Okay, yeah, I wouldn't do that to you. So the color versus black and white assignment is due Friday. Okay, but I know some of you guys have finished it. In any case, even when you are going to finish it, you need to know what the next thing is. So the next one is up. It's in Canvas. And as I said, this video itself is a good one to go back to if you want to, like, how did he do that again? Because this is now recording on YouTube. So it's really easy just to put the little jelly bean back and forth so you can see how I did it and watch it 3 times if you need to. So are there any questions on your part? I have taken up a grand total of 25, actually like 20 minutes. This was much faster than my previous period class, which didn't go as smoothly. And so I practiced it for you guys so it would go more smoothly. And I didn't take all that long. So here's the deal then. If we were in class, I would say, go to work. And then I would wander around and go from head to head and ask you to show me what you're working on and check it out. So that's what I'm going to do, basically. I'm going to say, go to work, do what you need to do. If you have questions you need to ask me, I'm going to hang out on this like it's office hours. So you can freely ask me a question. We can share the screen, work out any issues that you've got, or you can say sayonara and disappear until Friday. So that's up to you. All right, guys?
Thank you.
So we'll see you later, and I'll just hang out. And if you guys have any questions, give me a shout, okay?
Yeah.
So Jordan, this is due, when did I say? Now I have to look it up in Canvas, but I'll tell you 1 second. It's due January 19th. So that gives you a little bit of time. Okay. No, you don't edit it on SmugMug. When actually the one thing I didn't mention, I probably should have, is that when you're all done, you go into, in fact, let me show you this. You go into, yep, I should have actually said this during class. You go into layer, and then all the way down at the bottom, it says flatten image. And so let me show you that. And so now it's one flat layer, and this you save. And once it's saved, then that's what you upload into SmugMug. Oh, what website is this? This is Photopea. Okay, this is Photopea. You do not have to log into Photopea, no. It's a free website. The only thing is that you can see on my screen is that you got to deal with an advertisement. So, you know, and that takes up a certain amount of your screen space, which is annoying, but it's free. And if you get it all good at Photopea, you have parallel skills in Photoshop, because this works very, very much like Photoshop. And watch this too. If you're not sure how to do something and you want to do research, click on About. And then right here, click on this, the most advanced and affordable website. And you will get right here a blog which has tutorials on it. And so you can ask it also as well. So does that make sense? Are you good then? Any other questions? So, okay, I'm going to hang out and just be here. So I've got other things to do, but if you have any other questions, I might not see the chat. Give me a shout. Okay. The website of the process. I will show you. It looks like Photopea. It's Photopea. Okay, in fact, go there right now and then bookmark it.